Welcome back to the Hall of Fame College Football Podcast. I'm your host, Jason Watkins, doing a solo thing today. But if you love college football, you're still in the right place. So smash that subscriber button, like our videos, and make sure to ring the bell so you don't miss a moment of the Hall of Fame College Football Podcast. Sooner fans, I want everybody to take a freaking breath. Take a freaking breath. Hey, listen, I'm sick and tired of watching Kansas State beat my boys too. I really am. Okay? But this ridiculousness that you go in and see on Twitter, because, and where it comes from and where it's aimed at is just driving me insane. Okay? And the other thing is that, and I saw this stat, but I pretty much knew it was pretty close to this anyway. The last freaking 3 times that Oklahoma, or the last 4 times, I guess, that Oklahoma has lost their opener to the Big 12, they won the conference. Calm down. No, the defense reared its ugly head. The problems that they have had on defense for the last few years had reared its ugly head again. But I got to tell you, this is one of those things that's probably a good thing to have happen to them before the Red River game. Before the Red River game. Because if you go in there, and I mean, it very easily could have happened next week against Sonny Dykes and TCU. They know how to beat Oklahoma too. But probably chances are that's not going to happen now. Or I would hope so anyway. But good grief. You've got people sitting here. I cannot believe that how many. I mean, it's one thing if you see it once or once or twice maybe. But when I go on Twitter and I see freaking all of these people aiming their crap at Dillon Gabriel, what the hell is wrong with you people? The dude, 26 of 39, 330 yards, 4 touchdowns. He almost got to 400 total yards with rushing. This is not a Dillon Gabriel problem. He missed a couple of throws out of 39 of them. But if you can't get out off the freaking field on 3rd and 17, and the quarterback who got kicked out of freaking Nebraska last year is going to pick up not just 17 for the first down. The dude went for 40 yards right there. You can't get that guy on 3rd and 17, and you're going to blame this crap on Dillon Gabriel and Jeff Lebby for whatever the crap I don't even know what game you're watching. I don't even know what game you're watching. And let's just be honest, Chris Klieman has freaking OU's number. He does. He gets it. And look, I'd love to think that Oklahoma was just going to bounce right on back and jump up in there into the playoff this season, like a bunch of you freaking unrealistic people have. I love Oklahoma. I love it. I want to see them do great. I support them all day, every day, and I am not going to sit here and blame, especially one kid, Dillon Gabriel, who damn near he put up almost 400 yards. The defense gave up almost 500. This is what Brent Venables is supposed to be great at, the defense. And he's got great coaches with them. But the truth of it is, they had a little setback. And look, they turned Martinez loose. And leading up into this game, nobody would have seen that. He's been terrible. But there was something about that game that he played last year for Nebraska when they stayed way closer than anybody thought they should have, that he kind of knew where to exploit that defense. And he obviously, Venables wasn't ready for it. You got to make that adjustment. It sure as hell isn't on Lebby, and it sure as hell is not on Dillon Gabriel. The guy goes down, scores 2 touchdowns at the end of the game. I mean, look, the first one, it was right after Martinez goes down, gets them 2 ahead. He comes down immediately, gets another touchdown, and we get him to 3rd and 17, and you can't make a stop there. And then he goes down, and of course it's too late, but he goes down and scores another touchdown. 2 minutes left, does a 2-minute drill. Imagine had they made that stop. Imagine had they made that stop. And no, they didn't play great all day. Of course they didn't. But you cannot sit here and tell me that this is on Dillon freaking Gabriel. Wake up, folks. Come on. And the other thing is the sky is not falling. If you thought that Oklahoma was going to go undefeated this year, then that's on you. And to put those expectations on Venables, on those kids, learning a new system after everything that they went through that entire offseason and the debacle with Lincoln Riley, then what the hell is wrong with you? Have some realistic expectations, for God's sakes. Good grief. And they still have everything in front of them. All their goals are still attainable. But listen, I figured 2-3 losses. I've said this a bunch of times. 2-3 losses isn't a bad season. Even if they had 8-4, that's better than what freaking Sark went last year. Listen, it's just silliness. All of it, silly talk. And to throw those expectations on the head of those kids, and they are kids, and you got a guy comes in, Dillon Gabriel comes in, transfers in, and you're expecting him to freaking be the second coming of Joe Namath? What the hell are we talking about? There's 1,000 other teams that would have loved to have had him this year. You think Kansas State wouldn't rather have him? I guarantee you they would. This one game, maybe not. The rest of the year, I promise you they would. You think Baylor wouldn't love to have him after what you've seen out of their quarterback the last couple of weeks? They got a big win yesterday. But what did he do at BYU? We have got to knock this crap off. And I mean, God grief, folks. The sky is not falling. But to blame all this on a kid or even a couple of kids or whatever, it's silly talk. The whole scheme, there was 11 guys that didn't make tackles on that defense last night. And then how many coaches that they got that couldn't make the adjustment either? Hey, everybody. Jason Watkins, Hall of Fame College Football Podcast. Just wanted to remind you that the next time you want to go on Fanatics and get your gear, make sure you go onto our website first. That's hofmedia.us/fanatics. 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 You go on there, you can click the little button. It's a little blue Fanatics logo at the bottom. You're going to help. We're going to get a little small commission. You help us keep putting out content for you week after week. We enjoy doing it for you. We need a little help. We want to make sure that you can get your love too. I got a bunch of nice shirts in from Fanatics myself this week. So, I know everybody's going there. These guys have more merchandise for your team. And no matter what your team is or what sport they're playing, you're going to find it on Fanatics every time. Okay. Go on there, check them out. Great deals all the time just for using our link to go on there. All you do is click and shop as usual. You don't need a promo code. If you do, it'll be already on the screen for you there. They give it to you when you get there. So help us out. We'd appreciate it. When you put up 34 points, that ought to be enough most of the time. And they hadn't given up anything all coming into this. Of course, they didn't play anybody that was, as big time as Kansas State. We know that. But I said this early on part of our preview. I said that Kansas State and Iowa State were going to wreck the party for somebody. And they can still do that. They just hurt Oklahoma to open up the Big 12 season. But I would tell you, I expect them to win more of these games against more of these contenders. Realism. A little realism go a long way. A long way. And all of those kids are seeing all this crap that you're putting on Twitter, acting like you're a bunch of freaking, you know, you have these unrealistic expectations, and then when they don't come through in one game, you're going to rag them about it, and knowing that they see it. Good job, folks. Good job. Good grief.